Culture Vulture 17th to the 23rd of August, 2024. Welcome to Culture Vulture, your alternative entertainment guide for the week. This edition features music by Tim Bragg and curation and writing by Pat Harrington. This week's highlights include Believe, 2013, Saturday the 17th of August, 2024, at 10:25 a.m. on BBC Two. An uplifting story of a struggling youth football team in Manchester, transformed by a legendary but flawed coach. Roman Holiday, 1953, Sunday the 18th of August, 2024, at 4:50 p.m. on Film 4, the enduring romantic tale of a cloistered princess who discovers liberty and love on a whirlwind journey through Rome. And Boiling Point, 2021, Tuesday the 20th of August, 2024, at 9 p.m. on Film 4, an intense, real-time narrative that plunges the audience into the tense and tumultuous world of a London restaurant kitchen.
Saturday the 17th of August, 2024. Believe, 2013, 10:25 a.m. BBC Two. Believe transports the viewer to the heart of Manchester, a city steeped in both industrial history and football fervour. The film follows the story of an underdog youth football team, thrust into the limelight by the sudden arrival of an aging, legendary coach. This coach, once revered, now battles his personal demons and a tarnished reputation. Through the lens of this struggling team, the film portrays the struggles of working-class communities, where the dreams of the young are often overshadowed by harsh realities. At its core, Believe is a story about mentorship and the transformative power of belief. The coach, with his rigid methods and old-school mentality, initially clashes with the young players who are desperate for guidance. As he learns to see the potential in these boys, he also rediscovers his own sense of purpose. The film captures the tension between tradition and innovation, as the coach must adapt to the changing world around him while the boys learn the value of discipline and teamwork. The narrative also highlights the impact of sports on community cohesion. The football team becomes a symbol of hope for the neighborhood, representing the possibility of rising above one's circumstances. The film shows how a common goal can unite diverse individuals, fostering a sense of belonging and shared identity. The underdog story is not just about winning matches, but about overcoming the barriers that often divide communities. Moreover, Believe examines the power dynamics between authority figures and youth. The coach represents a figure of authority, but his effectiveness hinges on his ability to connect with the players on a personal level. The film explores how respect is earned, not demanded, and how genuine leadership involves empathy and understanding. Through this relationship, the film subtly critiques rigid hierarchical structures, advocating for a more collaborative and nurturing approach. In the end, Believe is a heartwarming tale of redemption and perseverance. The journey of the coach and his team mirrors the struggles of everyday life, where setbacks are inevitable, but the will to fight on can lead to unexpected victories. The film leaves the audience with a message of hope, emphasizing that belief, in oneself, in others, and in the possibility of change, is a powerful force for overcoming adversity.
Sunday the 18th of August, 2024. Roman Holiday, 1953, 4:50 p.m. Film 4. Roman Holiday is a timeless classic that offers more than just a whimsical love story. It presents a nuanced exploration of freedom and responsibility. The film follows Princess Anne, a young royal who feels suffocated by the rigid expectations of her station. Escaping her handlers, she embarks on an impromptu adventure through the streets of Rome, where she encounters Joe Bradley, a cynical journalist who initially sees her as a ticket to a lucrative story. As Anne experiences the simple pleasures of life outside the palace, Roman Holiday subtly critiques the constraints imposed by societal roles. Her interactions with ordinary people reveal the stark contrast between her sheltered existence and the vibrant world outside her royal bubble. The film delicately balances the joy of her newfound freedom with the looming reality that this escapade is fleeting, a brief respite from her obligations. The chemistry between Anne and Joe is the heart of the film, and their relationship is layered with unspoken tensions. Joe's initial intention to exploit Anne for a story evolves into genuine affection, illustrating how human connections can transcend ulterior motives. The film portrays their growing bond with a gentle touch, highlighting the tension between personal desires and the duties that society imposes. The bittersweet conclusion of Roman holiday underscores the sacrifices demanded by duty, and ultimately returns to her royal life, choosing to honor her responsibilities over her personal happiness. The final scene, where Joe silently acknowledges that their love cannot be, is a poignant reminder of the divide between personal freedom and public obligation. This moment encapsulates the film's exploration of the cost of upholding societal expectations. Roman holiday leaves a lasting impression not only as a romantic escapade but also as a reflection on the compromises inherent in fulfilling one's role in society. The film's enduring appeal lies in its ability to resonate with audiences who understand the tension between the desire for individual freedom and the demands of duty. It's a beautifully crafted story that captures the essence of a fleeting moment of liberation.
Monday the 19th of August, 2022. The Kingdom, the World's Most Powerful Prince, 1 of 2, 9 p.m. BBC Two. BBC Two's The Kingdom, the World's Most Powerful Prince is a compelling two-part documentary that delves into the life and rise to power of Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. The series offers an unprecedented look at the prince's journey from a fringe royal to the de facto ruler of one of the most influential countries in the Middle East. The documentary stands out for its exclusive access to insiders, including friends, advisors, Western spies, and diplomats, who provide a multifaceted view of the prince's character. It portrays him as a man of ambition and intelligence, but also highlights his ruthless streak, especially when dealing with opposition. The first episode sets the stage by exploring MBS's early life and his rapid ascent within the Saudi hierarchy, while the second part focuses on his actions once he effectively seized power. It covers a range of events, from the purchase of the world's most expensive painting to the ambitious announcement of a megacity project and a controversial anti-corruption drive. What makes this documentary a must-watch is the balance it strikes between showcasing the prince's modernizing reforms, such as allowing women to drive, and shedding light on the darker aspects of his rule, including the alleged involvement in the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The Kingdom, the World's Most Powerful Prince, is a thought-provoking piece that doesn't shy away from the complexities of power, politics, and personal ambition. It's a timely exploration of a figure who continues to shape global politics in significant ways. For those interested in the intricacies of leadership and the price of power, this documentary is a riveting watch. The Ballad of Lefty Brown, 2017, 11:10 p.m. Great movies. The Ballad of Lefty Brown is a western that departs from the genre's typical focus on heroic figures, instead centering on a character who has long lived in the shadows. Lefty Brown, a loyal sidekick, finds himself thrust into the spotlight after the murder of his best friend, a legendary lawman. The film follows Lefty as he embarks on a quest for justice, despite being dismissed by those around him as an incompetent fool. Lefty's journey is one of self-discovery and redemption. As he navigates the treacherous terrain of the frontier, the film explores themes of loyalty and friendship, portraying Lefty's unwavering commitment to his fallen friend. His determination to bring the killers to justice, despite his own shortcomings, challenges the traditional Western narrative where the hero is often infallible and larger than life. The film also delves into the harsh realities of life on the frontier, where justice is often elusive and survival is a daily struggle. Through Lefty's eyes, we see the brutality and lawlessness that defined this era, with an exploration of the often overlooked figures who, despite their flaws, have their own stories of bravery and resilience. The film's emphasis on character over spectacle makes it a unique and compelling entry in the Western genre. The Leveling, 2016, 12:05 p.m. BBC Two. The Leveling is a haunting exploration of grief, family tensions, and the weight of rural life. Set on a struggling farm in Somerset, the film follows Clover, a young woman who returns home after her brother's tragic death. As she confronts her estranged father, Aubrey, the film delves into the complex dynamics of a family torn apart by loss and unspoken resentments. The film paints a stark picture of rural life, where the daily grind of farming exacerbates the emotional strain on its characters. The farm itself, damaged by flooding and financial difficulties, serves as a metaphor for the fractured family relationships. The film captures the sense of isolation and despair that often accompanies life in the countryside, where the burden of tradition and the struggle for survival weigh heavily on the characters. At the heart of the leveling is the strained relationship between Clover and Aubrey. The film unflinchingly portrays their inability to communicate, as both grapple with their grief in silence. Clover's anger at her father for what she perceives as his emotional distance, and Aubrey's stoic refusal to express his feelings, create a palpable tension that permeates the film. This tension is heightened by the bleak, unforgiving landscape, which mirrors the emotional desolation of the characters. The narrative also touches on the generational divide, as Clover's return to the farm forces her to confront the legacy she has tried to escape. The film raises questions about duty, inheritance, and the expectations placed on the younger generation. Clover's internal conflict, between her desire to leave and her sense of responsibility to the farm, reflects a broader commentary on the struggles faced by those caught between tradition and modernity. The Leveling is a powerful examination of how grief and unresolved emotions can tear a family apart. The film's understated performances and atmospheric setting create a sense of quiet devastation, leaving the viewer with a deep sense of the character's pain and the heavy burden of unresolved trauma. It's a poignant and unsettling portrayal of a family in crisis, set against the harsh realities of rural life.
Boiling Point, 2021, 9 p.m. Film 4. Boiling Point immerses the viewer in the intense atmosphere of a bustling, high-end restaurant in London, all captured in a single, continuous take. The film's real-time approach places the audience directly in the pressure cooker that is the kitchen, where the simmering tensions among the staff threaten to boil over at any moment. This high-pressure environment serves as a microcosm of the larger world, where the demands of modern life often push individuals to their breaking points. The relentless pace of the restaurant mirrors the unyielding expectations placed on workers, particularly in service industries where the margin for error is razor-thin. At the heart of the film is Andy, the head chef, whose personal and professional lives are on the verge of collapse. As he navigates a series of crises ranging from food shortages to difficult customers and staff conflicts, Andy's struggle becomes a powerful commentary on the destructive effects of stress and unchecked ambition. His unraveling is not just a personal failure but a reflection of a system that values profit and perfection over the well-being of its people. The cracks in Andy's leadership expose the fragile nature of the relationships that hold the restaurant together, revealing how easily things can fall apart when respect and communication break down. The film also explores the dynamics of power and hierarchy within the restaurant. The front-of-house staff, the kitchen crew, and the management all operate in silos, with little understanding or empathy for each other's struggles. This lack of cohesion highlights the broader disconnect between different levels of society, where those at the top often remain oblivious to the challenges faced by those on the front lines. The interactions between the staff reveal how power is wielded and abused, often with little regard for the human cost. One of the film's most striking elements is its portrayal of the mental and emotional toll that such a high-stakes environment takes on the individuals involved. The characters are pushed to their limits, not just by the demands of the job but also by their personal lives, which inevitably bleed into their work. The relentless pace of the kitchen leaves little room for compassion or understanding, creating an environment where vulnerability is seen as weakness. As the night unfolds, the true cost of this toxic culture becomes painfully clear. Boiling Point is a searing indictment of a world where the pursuit of excellence often comes at the expense of humanity. The film leaves the viewer questioning the value of success in a system that grinds people down and spits them out. It's a stark reminder that behind every polished exterior, whether it's a Michelin-starred restaurant or a corporate office, there are real people struggling to keep their heads above water. The Outlaw Jose Wales, 1976, 10 p.m. ITV4. The Outlaw Jose Wales is a gripping tale set in the aftermath of the American Civil War, following a man whose life is shattered by the violence and betrayal of war. Jose Wales, the film's protagonist, is a man on a mission of revenge after his family is brutally murdered by Union soldiers. As he embarks on his quest for vengeance, the film explores the deep scars left by conflict and the challenges of rebuilding a life in a world that has been torn apart. The Civil War, often romanticized in American history, is here depicted as a source of deep and lasting trauma. Jose's journey takes him across a desolate and unforgiving landscape, where he encounters various outcasts and marginalized figures. These characters, like Hosei, are survivors of the war, each grappling with their own losses and trying to find a place in a society that no longer has a place for them. Through these encounters, the film highlights the plight of those left behind by the grand narratives of history: Native Americans, former slaves, and Confederate soldiers who refused to surrender. Their stories reflect the broader struggles of a nation grappling with the aftermath of its most divisive conflict. As Hosei begins to gather a motley group of companions, the film shifts from a straightforward revenge narrative to a more nuanced exploration of community and redemption. Despite his hardened exterior and fierce independence, Hosei slowly begins to take on a leadership role, protecting and guiding those who join him. This transformation is central to the film's message, that even in the face of overwhelming loss, there is the possibility of finding new purpose and connection. The bonds formed among this group of outsiders suggest that healing is possible, even in the most broken of times. The film also offers a critical look at the use of violence as a means of resolving conflict. While Hosei's quest for revenge drives the plot, it is clear that violence begets more violence, and the cycle is difficult, if not impossible, to break. As the body count rises, so does the weight of the violence on Hosei's soul. The film raises important questions about the cost of retribution and whether it is ever truly justified. It suggests that while the desire for revenge is understandable, it ultimately leads to more suffering, not only for those targeted but also for those who seek it. The Outlaw Hosei Wales is more than just a western, it's a reflection on the deep wounds left by war and the struggle to find peace in its aftermath. The film's portrayal of Hosei's journey from vengeance to redemption offers a powerful commentary on the human capacity for both destruction and healing. It challenges the viewer to consider what it means to move on after a profound loss and whether it's possible to build a new life from the ashes of the old.
Wednesday, the 21st of August, 2024. Snowpiercer, 2013, 9 p.m. ITV4. Snowpiercer is a visually striking and thought-provoking film set in a dystopian future where the remnants of humanity survive aboard a perpetually moving train. The train, which circles the globe in an endless loop, is a stark metaphor for the rigid social hierarchies that define our world. At the front of the train are the elites, living in opulence and luxury, while at the back are the oppressed masses, crammed into squalid conditions and treated as expendable. This extreme division serves as a powerful critique of the widening gap between the rich and the poor, highlighting the brutal reality of inequality. The film follows Curtis, a reluctant leader who rises from the back of the train to lead a rebellion against the ruling class. As the revolutionaries fight their way forward, car by car, the film lays bare the dehumanizing effects of such a stark class divide. The contrast between the lush, decadent front cars and the grim, filthy rear cars underscores the absurdity of a system that allows a few to live in excess while the majority suffer in abject poverty. The journey through the train becomes a journey through the layers of society, each car revealing another aspect of the entrenched power structures that keep the rich in power and the poor in despair. Snowpiercer doesn't shy away from the harsh realities of revolution. The violence that erupts as the rebels push forward is both shocking and inevitable, illustrating the desperation that drives people to fight back against oppression. The film challenges the notion of the noble rebellion, showing that even in the pursuit of justice, violence can have devastating consequences. Curtis, haunted by his past and the choices he has made, embodies the moral complexities of leading such a revolt. The film raises difficult questions about whether the ends can ever justify the means, and what happens when the oppressed become the oppressors. The train itself is a closed system, and this sense of entrapment pervades the film. The characters are trapped not only by the physical confines of the train, but also by the roles that society has imposed on them. The rigid class structure is maintained through propaganda, fear, and violence, and the film highlights the lengths to which those in power will go to maintain the status quo. The train's unending loop becomes a metaphor for the cyclical nature of history, where the oppressed rise up only to become the new oppressors, perpetuating the cycle of suffering. In its chilling final act, Snowpiercer forces the viewer to confront the ultimate futility of trying to reform a system that is fundamentally broken. The film's bleak ending suggests that true change may only come through total destruction, rather than gradual reform. It's a sobering reflection on the nature of power and the price of revolution, leaving the viewer to ponder whether it's possible to break free from the cycles of oppression that have defined human history.
Thursday, the 22nd of August, 2024. Michael Mosley, Wonders of the Human Body, 1 of 3, 8 p.m. Channel 5. The world of science and health broadcasting has been left with a significant void following the passing of Dr. Michael Mosley, a man whose contributions to public understanding of medical science are unparalleled. His final series, Wonders of the Human Body, which airs on Channel 5, stands as a testament to his lifelong commitment to educating and engaging the public in the marvels of the human body. As a fan of his work, particularly his radio show Just One Thing, I approach this series with a mix of anticipation and melancholy. The show promises to be another insightful journey through the complexities of our biology, a subject Dr. Mosley had a unique talent for making both accessible and fascinating. The series did not disappoint. It was classic Mosley, informative, engaging, and filled with the kind of personal anecdotes and hands-on demonstrations that made his previous work so compelling. The first episode took us to Dundee, Scotland, where we met individuals living with tremors and learned about the pioneering brain surgery that could change their lives. It was a powerful reminder of the human stories behind medical science, a hallmark of Mosley's approach. Watching Wonders of the Human Body was bittersweet. Each frame was a reminder of the loss of a great communicator and a passionate advocate for science. The series, filmed before his untimely death, was imbued with his characteristic warmth and curiosity. It is a fitting tribute to a man who dedicated his life to demystifying the complexities of health and medicine for the layperson. Dr. Mosley's passing is a profound loss, not just for those who knew him personally, but for anyone who ever had their interest in science sparked by his words. Wonders of the Human Body is a poignant final chapter in the legacy of a man who brought the wonders of science into our living rooms and our lives. He will be deeply missed. Midnight Run, 1988, 9 p.m. Legend. Midnight Run is a fast-paced, comedic action film that pairs two unlikely characters, Jack Walsh, a tough, no-nonsense bounty hunter, and Jonathan the Duke Mardukas, a mild-mannered accountant who has embezzled millions from a notorious mob boss. As Jack is tasked with bringing Jonathan from New York to Los Angeles to collect a bounty, what begins as a straightforward job quickly spirals into a chaotic road trip across the country. This journey, filled with mishaps and misadventures, serves as a backdrop for a deeper exploration of trust, loyalty, and the surprising bonds that can form between people who seem to have nothing in common. Jack Walsh, portrayed by Robert De Niro, is a man disillusioned by his past experiences as a cop, having been betrayed by the very system he once served. His cynical outlook on life is rooted in a deep-seated mistrust of authority and a belief that everyone is out for themselves. This worldview is challenged by his interactions with Jonathan, played by Charles Grodin, whose calm demeanor and moral compass stand in stark contrast to Jack's hardened exterior. As the two men are forced to rely on each other to survive a gauntlet of challenges, including the mob, the FBI, and rival bounty hunters, Jack's perception of Jonathan begins to change, revealing the film's underlying message about the potential for redemption and change in even the most jaded individuals. Throughout their journey, the film delves into the concept of justice and the different forms it can take. Jonathan's crime, while illegal, was committed out of a sense of moral righteousness. He stole from a corrupt mob boss to give to charity. This raises questions about the nature of wrongdoing and whether all crimes are created equal. Jack, who is initially motivated by the promise of a substantial payday, gradually begins to see Jonathan as more than just a payday and starts to question the rigid lines between right and wrong that have governed his life. The film suggests that justice is not always black and white, and that sometimes doing the right thing means breaking the rules. The film also offers a critique of the bureaucratic and often incompetent nature of law enforcement. The FBI agents pursuing Jack and Jonathan are depicted as bumbling and ineffective, more concerned with procedure than actually catching the criminals. This portrayal serves as a commentary on the flaws within the justice system, highlighting how those who operate outside of it, like Jack, can sometimes achieve more meaningful results. However, it also shows the toll that living on the fringes of society takes on a person, as Jack's isolation and bitterness are directly tied to his estrangement from the institutions he once believed in. Ultimately, Midnight Run is a film about the unexpected relationships that can form between people from different walks of life. Jack and Jonathan's evolving friendship challenges both men to reconsider their beliefs and priorities. Jack, who starts the film focused solely on the reward money, ends up risking everything to protect Jonathan, suggesting that human connection and loyalty can outweigh even the most deeply ingrained cynicism. The film's blend of humor, action, and character development makes it a compelling exploration of how the bonds we form on the journey can be more important than the destination itself.
Friday the 23rd of August, 2024. Collateral, 2004 at 12:50 a.m. C4. Collateral unfolds over the course of one tense, fateful night in Los Angeles, as a cab driver named Max finds his routine shift upended by a passenger who turns out to be a hitman. The film's sleek, nocturnal visuals create a sense of unease and detachment, reflecting the isolation of the characters in a sprawling, indifferent city. This story is not just about a crime spree, but about the collision of two very different worlds, Max's small, tightly controlled life and Vincent's cold, methodical existence as a killer for hire. The film's exploration of these two men's lives highlights the ways in which people can be trapped by their circumstances, whether they're on the right side of the law or not. As the night progresses, Max is forced to confront the compromises he has made in his life, particularly his failure to pursue his dreams and his tendency to avoid risks. Vincent, on the other hand, is a man who has embraced a life of risk and moral ambiguity, living by a code that justifies his actions as a necessary part of his profession. Their interactions reveal the different ways people rationalize their choices, and how those choices shape their identities. The film delves into the psychological impact of living in a society that often prioritizes success over ethics, and the toll that such a mindset can take on the individual. The relationship between Max and Vincent becomes a study in contrasts, with Max representing a kind of everyman whose life has been defined by passivity, while Vincent embodies a ruthless pragmatism that sees people as little more than obstacles or tools. Through their conversations, the film probes the moral gray areas that exist between right and wrong, questioning whether anyone can truly claim to be good or evil. The dynamic between the two men forces the viewer to consider the ways in which society's pressures can push individuals towards actions they might never have considered under different circumstances. Los Angeles itself is a character in the film, its vast, impersonal expanse serving as a backdrop for the story's unfolding drama. The city's sprawling, disconnected landscape mirrors the emotional distance between its inhabitants, where personal connections are fleeting and genuine empathy is rare. As Max and Vincent navigate the city's maze of streets, the film paints a portrait of urban life that is as isolating as it is vibrant. The anonymity of the city allows for both freedom and alienation, and the film suggests that in such an environment, it's easy for people to lose their moral compass. In the end, Collateral is a meditation on the consequences of the choices we make, both large and small. Max's journey from passive observer to active participant in his own life is mirrored by Vincent's inevitable downfall, as the hitman's carefully controlled world unravels. The film leaves the viewer contemplating the cost of living in a society where the pursuit of personal success often comes at the expense of others, and where the line between right and wrong is increasingly blurred.
Finally, don't forget we are covering the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Culture Vulture has released a fresh batch of reviews from the Edinburgh Fringe 2024, and they're a must-read for anyone interested in the vibrant arts scene. The Kate Bush story is a mesmerizing tribute to the iconic singer's career, while Honest challenges perceptions with its bold narrative. Love's Concordia Bar offers a quirky twist on the classic love story. Katie Folger brings the laughs in Getting in Bed with the Pizza Man, a comedy that's as deliciously funny as it sounds. 21. The music of Adele is a soul-stirring homage to the singer's greatest hits. The story of Sting and the Police takes you on a nostalgic journey through their timeless music. Ella Macready's The Look of Dusty is a stunning portrayal of Dusty Springfield's legacy. Lastly, Sarah Hester Ross's show packs a hilarious yet thought-provoking punch, proving that comedy can indeed be a force for change. Dive into these reviews to pick your next Fringe show to experience.
Please consider donating. At Counterculture, we're committed to keeping our content freely accessible because we believe in the democratization of information. However, producing high-quality content isn't cost-free. We're on the cusp of an exciting expansion that will allow us to delve deeper into audio and visual media, enriching your experience with us. This leap forward requires new software, which, while essential, comes with significant costs. That's why we're reaching out to you, our community, to invite contributions of any size. Your donations are the lifeline that will enable us to continue providing the content you love and trust, while also embracing the innovative technologies that will take our services to the next level. Every contribution, no matter how small, is a powerful vote for a future where quality and free access go hand in hand. Together, we can make this vision a reality. Thank you for being a part of our journey and considering a donation to help us grow. The link is in the show notes.